At the age of 13, I had a life and death experience. I didn't almost die. I did die.
This could have been the last picture that I ever received from my daughter. On January 8th, 2013, my daughter was asked to fill in out a spelling bee for her middle school. I was out of town for work in Atlanta, Georgia, when I received a selfie and a text from my daughter. And then 15 minutes later, I get a phone call from the school administrator telling me that my daughter is in medical distress.
I remember being seated next to Emma. I didn't know Emma before the spelling bee. We were getting ready to spell our words. We just finished round 1 when Emma went into cardiac arrest and collapsed on me. I didn't know what to do.
We arrived on scene and we found a 13-year-old girl, Emma Baker, laying there on the library floor. They had already started CPR prior to our arrival, and she did not have a pulse at that time.
So the feeling that I had when I received that phone call in Georgia was helplessness, terror, just not understanding is awful. The school administrator, he asked me questions like, does she have medical problems? Has she ever had seizures? Is she allergic to anything? And of course the answers were all no. She's a perfectly normal middle schooler. After 45 minutes, I finally got the call that Emma's heart had started again.
I was with my daughter Molly and my son Matthew, and I left my phone out in the truck, and when I came out, I saw that I'd missed a whole bunch of phone calls, most of them from Kate. So she said Emma was in trouble and I needed to call her right away.
All I knew that Emma was in medical distress. I had no idea what was going on.
I got on a highway and went as fast as I could go. As I pulled into the parking lot, they're wheeling a kid out on a gurney to a helicopter with the blades are spinning, they're ready to go. It was, I don't want to use the words, but she just looked and felt dead. It was a rough feeling, and I prayed a lot that would not be my last memory of her.
When I got into the hospital room, they were prepping Emma for the flight. So they were sewing in IVs into arteries all on her body. I'd never seen so many IVs hooked up to a person before. She had 2 medical poles all filled with medications, just pumping things into her. She was really cold because they had put her in a hypothermic state, and that, as a mom, that freaked me out. So I actually took off my socks and put them on Emma. The doctor said, "This is fine, do whatever you need." And I crawled up in the bed with her and just sat with her while they were prepping her for the flight.
We were there for a couple days with Emma in a medically induced coma. They kept warning us about internal organ damage.
Not having a heartbeat for 45 minutes, there's just the danger of not enough blood getting up to the brain, and that organ needs blood. Sorry.
We needed her to come out of the coma. They struggled with that. Every time they tried to pull the breathing tube out, it was bad enough. It would send her heart back into a really bad rhythm. So they would give her some more drugs and calm her back down and put the tube in.
It's a terrifying moment when they were working on her to bring her out. The crash team was surrounding the bed and thinking in our heads that Emma wasn't going to get to be Emma. That's how the doctors put it. If Emma comes out of the coma, she will probably not be the Emma that we knew. I was so afraid that I was plastered up against the back wall, just praying as hard. I've never prayed so hard in my life. And as soon as the doctor said, "Come over, she's gonna be okay, this is such a miracle, come over," and it was just the best feeling. I mean, I'm so thankful that she survived and the people that needed to be there were there.
It's strange to think I don't even remember any of this. 2 weeks after my cardiac arrest, I left the hospital with a defibrillator and a way to start my life again.
So, Emma's heart condition is catamorphic, polymorphic tachycardia.
The abbreviation is CPVT, and the long word I can't really pronounce, so.
If you look at Emma's heart, it is so beautiful. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. Her heart just doesn't like drama. It doesn't like adrenaline. And when she gets adrenaline, it goes into a heart rhythm that makes you go into cardiac arrest. Emma didn't have any brain damage because CPR was done quickly and it was done correctly.
If it would have happened in our living room, Emma wouldn't have made it because we didn't know CPR. And the fact that they knew it, were courageous enough to perform it right at the moment that it happened is the reason that Emma's fine today. So now we volunteer our time as much as we can to the American Heart Association and the efforts they have teaching people CPR, and we're going to continue.
Call 911 and then push hard and fast in the middle of the chest. Paramedics will get there, they'll do the rest. You guys want to come push on their chest and see what it feels like? Okay.
The power of the American Heart Association saved my daughter's life, and I know that it saved many, many other lives.
I'm living proof that CPR saves lives. I received a second chance at life, and I vow to live it well.